This is USC. People always ask me why I care so much about college. And honestly, it's not about the rankings and it's not about the resumes. You know what it's about? It's about moments. It's about standing in a packed stadium, the band thundering, your heart pounding, and then out of the tunnel comes this magnificent white horse. That's the moment when college stops being a place and starts being your soul. That's the moment I fell in love with USC. And today I'm going to tell you the story of that horse, Traveler, and the man who brought him to light here on this campus. But more than that, I want to tell you how one game day tradition changed everything for me and the rest of my life. Okay, I didn't grow up in a sports family. My dad was a musician. My mom was one of 9 sisters. Hair and makeup and watching Dallas on Fridays, that was the vibe in my house. No joke. And yet, I was obsessed with college football. No one around me cared about football, but I was glued to the TV on Saturdays. The sea of red at Nebraska's Memorial Stadium and the checkerboard of Tennessee, orange and white at the Neyland Stadium are literally emblazoned in my mind. But it was rivalry weekends that really stole my heart and stole my attention. The iconic Ohio State versus Michigan, aka The Game. And of course, there was USC versus UCLA. As an LA girl, this was the perfect Saturday. Watching hometown team who willingly take a timeout penalty just so they can both wear their home uniforms. It's a sight to be seen. There was something about college football that felt a bit bigger, more dramatic. It was a tradition. It was pride. It was college at its best. But nothing compared to what happened the day my high school drill team, we performed at the USC football game. No joke. We weren't the only high school that was invited, but be that as it may, it didn't matter to me. I was at the LA Coliseum, standing right on the field where the band played and Traveler galloped out onto the field. It was something that shifted inside me. And in that moment, I knew I had to go to USC. I didn't care how. That was it. That game, that horse, that pageantry, it was the beginning of literally everything. Okay, so fast forward to fall of 1990. I was a freshman right here on this campus, USC. I remember the very first pep rally, standing in front of Tommy Trojan. We were playing, the Orangemen, Syracuse. And the energy on the campus was unreal and it was infectious. The band, the chants, the students, it was electric. And then came the first home game. We walked across the campus, all the way across the street to where the LA Coliseum lives. The hosts of the 1984 Olympics, that's where we played the game. I'll never forget what it felt like to enter the stadium as a student. I was wearing my cardinal and gold Sunday best, ready to cheer like I was in church. Preach it! And when Traveler emerged from the tunnel and the band played Conquest, I jumped to my feet like every Trojan in the stadium. Right arm up, V, and victory pumping forward and back, just like we all do. You don't forget that moment. You feel it in your chest. You know when you're part of something bigger than yourself. Ooh, I'm getting choked up, so I digress. Let's get back to Traveler's origin story. Okay, so it didn't start in that moment, of course. In fact, Traveler's story started with a dogfight. In 1961, Eddie Tannenbaum was a junior at USC. Yeah, Eddie Tannenbaum. Back then, our mascot was a little terrier named George Tirebiter because he literally chased cars, and went and bit tires. I know. One day, George ran into a dog named Dog. Yeah, an actual mutt from Eddie's fraternity. And let's just say George ended up needing 42 stitches and a trip to the vet. Go figure. So Eddie brought George to the vice president of student affairs at USC and said, "I think we need a new mascot." And the VP said, "If you can find one, go for it." So off he went. Eddie happened to be taking horseback riding lessons nearby, and he mentioned this idea to his instructor, Richard Sacco. And Richard had a horse named Traveler, a stunning white Andalusian. Yeah. One thing led to another, and by May of that same year, Traveler was introduced at Songfest at the Hollywood Bowl. Songfest was USC's long-running student talent show. It showcased a blend of music, dance, and school spirit, and it was one of the most anticipated spring traditions. It began in the 1950s, and it was often held at iconic locations here in Los Angeles, including the Hollywood Bowl, making it the perfect stage and the perfect debut for Traveler in 1961. By the first football game in 1961, Traveler had officially become the USC mascot. And the rest, well, it's all history. There have been 9 Travelers over the years, each one with a unique personality and each one with a soul. Some love watching from the sidelines, and others can't wait to bolt when a touchdown is scored in the Coliseum. But none quite like Traveler the Fourth. Eddie shared a story with me. During the Special Olympics at USC, Traveler was brought to meet the athletes. Many were in wheelchairs, some had crutches, some couldn't even reach his belly. But this beautiful white horse, he would lower his head to connect with each person. He stayed there for hours, soaking up every moment, love and joy. He wasn't just a mascot. He knew who he was. Okay, so years later, I was working at Marymount High School, the girls' school here in Los Angeles, and I was helping 2 twins, Megan and Carrie, with their college applications. Yeah, that's all I was doing, just doing my thing. Their parents, Eddie and Patty Tannenbaum. No joke, you can't make this stuff up. The man who started Traveler was sitting in my office, and we became friends, Trojan to Trojan. We stayed loosely in touch, and then in 2022, I attended a Skull and Dagger induction breakfast for the USC's new honorees. It's a secret honor society that admits about 40 people every year, students, faculty, and alumni. Alongside greats like Matt Leinart, Carson Palmer, USC also honors people like Lisa Leslie. These are all inductees. These are legends who took on the Trojan spirit at the Olympic stage. I had been inducted years earlier during graduation, but there, across from me at the table, was Eddie, sitting right across from me. No joke. Today, he is my mentor, he is my financial advisor, and he is my friend. The very man who gave us Traveler is still guiding Trojans today, including me. What Eddie created wasn't just a mascot, it was a legacy. When Traveler runs, we don't just cheer, we rise to our feet. We do the V sign, and for a few seconds, we are not alone. We're part of something big, bigger, timeless, and sacred in that moment. To quote Eddie, Traveler will always be what drives our victory symbol for our brand and our salute to Troy. And when the band plays Conquest, ba-dum, we all turn to that tunnel because we know what's coming. We know who's coming. This story started with a halftime show with me in my drill team uniform. That led to a dream and brought me back to the very man who made that dream gallop to life. Thank you, Eddie, and thank you, Traveler. And thank you to everyone who believes that college isn't just where we go, it's who we become. Fight on. Da-dun, da-dun, da-da-da-da.